If governments continue to interfere with capitalism, we end up in a communist state, and we will all be poorer because communism is expensive. During the pandemic, a form of communism was imposed on people because at the beginning, we didn't know how dangerous the virus was. We were told to stay at home. Most industries were supported and the state took over. We became less productive and, in my mind, somewhat complacent. Yes, help was needed, but in my view, it went on far too long. Rishi Sunak allowed the Bank of England to pump out more cash, quantitative easing, and in the end, a lot of people, seeing the government waving a magic money tree, didn't fancy rejoining the capital ethos. How come, many asked, we can find the money when we need it? And this sort of thing was happening way before COVID, though. Take the banking crisis. Instead of letting the banks fail for their wayward lending, which resulted in the subprime fiasco, which should have meant banks going broke, which could happen in a real capitalist state, the government, or should I say we, bailed them out. The message here to the banks: we are too important to fail, and that we can carry on paying silly money to bankers who have screwed up the economy because apparently they would all leave in their droves if they were paid less. Well, I wish they had. Now it's the turn of energy. Instead of the market forces finding the price that consumers can pay, governments around the world are supporting consumers artificially, enabling the price to stay high or inflate whilst producers make billions in profits. Why? In a true capitalist model, yes, there is demand, but if you charge an unreasonable price and people cannot pay, those providing it will be forced to reduce their prices, even if the resource is scarce, because nobody would be able to afford it. If your consumers die because your prices are too high, what good is that? You'll lose business. Even where it is a necessity, as long as there is real competition in a capitalist state, the price can and should be controlled by market forces. So, with the government, or us, remember their money is actually our money, supporting these rip-off merchants, I have to call them that because they are, what is to stop water companies or other essential businesses, many should never have been left to market forces being privatised, charging the earth? If those in power keep supporting this, it is limitless. Commenting on a report and findings, Alexander Hammond, Free Trade Fellow at the Free Market Think Tank and Institute of Economic Affairs, said, "This year, in the Economic Freedom League table, the United Kingdom has achieved its worst position since 1975. We are now less economically free than Romania and about a level pegging with Bulgaria. Worse still, we declined by 11 spots in the last year alone. The main factors holding back our economic freedom are the sheer scale of economic activity accounted for by the state and the exorbitant levels of taxation required to fund it." In my view, there are some things that we, the state, should own, and others they should not. Capitalism can only properly be applied if true competition exists. Where there is no competition, the resource should belong to the state. Privatise at your peril.